All right, joining us live now is Dr. Isaac Bogoch, Infectious Disease Specialist at Toronto General Hospital. Dr. Bogoch, it's been a while. Good to see your face. Let's get into it. A new regulation that took effect over the weekend requires healthcare providers in our province of Ontario to report cases of 3 specific tick-borne illnesses. Maybe you can walk us through this and what it means exactly.
Sure, yeah. So we all know that there's a lot of Lyme in Ontario and elsewhere in Canada, but there are also other tick-borne illnesses that it's important to keep track of. These are very, very rare in humans in Canada, but there's probably going to be a growing burden of these infections as time goes on, as we see growing tick populations and climate change impacts and how that affects other illnesses and how these illnesses spread throughout the world, including Canada. So these illnesses are called babesiosis, anaplasmosis, and Powassan virus. And, again, these are very, very rare. They're potentially serious. Of course, we can diagnose them, we can treat them, but it's important to keep track of them and understand what the true burden is. And that's why the health departments want these to be reported to public health if clinicians make a diagnosis. So laboratories will feed that information to public health, or clinicians will feed that information to public health, so we can keep better track of them in the province.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Dr. Bogoch, this, of course, comes as malaria has been tracked south of our border. So should this be something that we also keep an eye on?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a very small number of cases of malaria diagnosed locally acquired in Florida and in Texas. Now, there hasn't been malaria cases locally acquired in the United States in about 20 years. So this is pretty important. But they've got the right mosquitoes there that transmit malaria. They've got the right climate conditions for malaria transmission. So when you have the influx of people that might have the parasite in their blood, they're being bit by the local mosquitoes, those mosquitoes can bite other people, it's no surprise that you're going to get more malaria transmission. There'll probably be more cases down there. Again, that's a very small risk, but not a 0% risk. And like anything else, we should be taking steps to avoid tick bites, to avoid mosquito bites, to avoid other insect bites, not only because they're itchy and uncomfortable, but because they can transmit infections. By no means does that mean don't go traveling. By no means does that mean don't go outside. Of course we should go outside. Of course we should travel. Of course we should explore the world around us and enjoy it. But, you can take some simple precautions by using mosquito repellent and insect repellent to avoid getting bitten, and other precautions as well. And I think one other key point is if people are traveling, it's important to really speak with a travel health specialist just to see if there's any advice you need to take to stay healthy while you're away. Some places you might need to take pills to prevent malaria or take other steps to prevent infections and stay healthy while traveling. So it's really important to seek care with a travel health specialist before going on a trip.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. Depending on what country you travel to, sometimes you also need shots or vaccines for certain things as well. All right, and turning to this now, Dr. Bogoch, a new vaccine for tuberculosis is about to enter its final stage trial. Now, this isn't a disease that gets too many headlines, but how prominent is tuberculosis, and how important is this vaccine in fighting the disease?
Oh, this is a massive step forward. Tuberculosis kills about 1.5 million people on the planet per year. It's a very, very common infection. And of course, we have this in Canada as well. We see tuberculosis in various populations in Canada. It certainly is here as well. It's something to take very seriously, but of course, it's a major global health issue, primarily impacting low-income and low-middle-income countries. A vaccine is most welcome, and there's some very significant and impressive progress on developing a very effective tuberculosis vaccine. So fingers tightly crossed that those were successful trials and that we can roll this out soon.
Okay, Dr. Bogoch, that does it for our time this morning. Always appreciate your answers. Have a good rest of your long weekend, if that's what you're doing, and we'll chat with you again soon. Take care.
Be well. Thank you.